Welcome back to another Tech Talk. Wolf190D here, and this time I will be focusing on the hull design section. So, most important one if you are just starting out into Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, or maybe even a returning player but still haven't quite figured out the tech tree. Hull strengthening is going to be probably your most important section. Not only does it unlock your battleships, and ultimately, I do believe battle cruisers come out of the hull strengthening section, but also you'll notice you get hull form, resistance, stability, floatability, hull weight, and engine vibration upgrades. So this is off of an 1890 start, so if I'm not all the way through the tech line, I do try to give you a heads up on what comes out of this. So you do unlock dreadnoughts here, dreadnought improvements, but also there are some overall um, improvements that you get out of this. New structural steel, improved structural steel, so on and so forth. So your hull strengthening is overall for all of your hulls, but also this allows you to build your biggest and baddest ships. Again, battleships and battlecruiser hull designs do come out of this. And it does also, as you progress through these tech lines, it does tell you what you've unlocked, and then down below that it'll tell you what's obsolete. With hull construction, this is actually kind of an important one because it's going to be the biggest one that reduces ship construction times and flaws. So it's not something I tend to focus on very heavily unless there's something really good that's coming out of it. Like you can see, quality control is going to give a massive, well, maybe not massive, but a pretty significant reduction to ship flaws. New riveting techniques, sorry, I can't speak today. New riveting techniques kind of does an overall thing, stiffening, so also sort of overall. But quality control does a pretty good reduction to flaws. So if you start early game and you're wondering why you have all these ship flaws, you might want to take a look at your hull construction. Cruiser design is pretty self-explanatory. This is what allows you to unlock cruiser hulls, heavy, light cruiser hulls, also obsoleting those. And then of course it also gives improvements, sectional or incremental, there we go, incremental increases to the various design weight limitations. All right, and then once you do unlock battle cruisers, this is also going to play a role in battle cruiser weight limitations as well, if I remember correctly. All right, so if you want better, bigger, and better cruiser hulls, you might want to focus on cruiser designs. And the way you focus on these is with these free priorities. You click on the little beaker. There we go, beaker icon. And keep in mind though, the more you focus on individual text, the more it's going to reduce your overall research performance. So something I typically like to do is focus on one, maybe two at a time. Last, we have the destroyer designs. This is where you're going to, if you're starting early game, improve torpedo boat limitations and then ultimately unlock the destroyer class. And I think late game there's also the destroyer leader hull, which is basically a beefed up destroyer hull. So if you're looking to improve destroyers, and again this is probably self-explanatory, but what I'm trying to give you here is an example, or at least an idea, of how these are broken down. So you'll notice that at the 1100 ton limit, actually that's what I was looking for, the 1100 ton limit, you go from the large torpedo boat and then finally get the destroyer one hull, right? And just to go back through the cruisers, and you can pause these at any time and give a better look. If you're starting early game, 3500 tons, at least on the German tech tree, is where you get light cruisers, light cruiser 3s rather, semi-armored cruisers. And you might notice some of your tech lines have these little question marks. It means that that particular thing is unavailable to that nation, right? So Uh, Thanks again for stopping by. Like and subscribe if you like the content. And hey, I'm always open to conversation too. So hey, let's try to get a discussion going. What are some tips, tricks, and any other ideas? I prefer this, you prefer that, so on and so forth. Thank you for stopping by again, and I will see you next time.